Have you ever been so bored that you fell asleep? Have you ever just been a little bit bored and fallen asleep? Have you ever started doing something that was boring and then felt drowsy almost immediately? Let's talk about that. When I was in high school, I fell asleep during almost every single class. And then once I got to college, it got even worse. It was so bad that I had friends who would come and wake me up way after class was over. They would kind of just wait and just shake me to see if I would wake up. My mom was really worried about me, so she took me to the doctor. She told her what was happening. Essentially that I was falling asleep all the time, especially at school. And my doctor prescribed some multivitamins and some sleep studies. Nothing helped. So when I was in college, my freshman year was so bad and I used to fall asleep so much that I changed majors to one where almost every single core class had a laboratory, because I knew that if I did hands-on stuff, I wouldn't fall asleep. On the contrary, I was so excited to be doing stuff, to be working on projects, that I didn't feel drowsy at all. Fast forward, I graduate. And once I start working, same thing starts happening. I fell asleep at my desk various times. I fell asleep in a lot of meetings. A lot of my coworkers and friends would take pictures of me with their phones of me falling asleep in a meeting. Falling asleep at work is not good for your career. So it wasn't until many years after that I was at a job and I was feeling really, really anxious. My anxiety was crazy. The reason why I was feeling anxious was because I couldn't get my work done. The reason why I couldn't get my work done was because I kept falling asleep when I tried to do it. Although I went to a therapist to try to get help with my anxiety, I ended up learning that I had ADHD. Related to ADHD in particular, this is not something that you will find in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, commonly known as a DSM. See, it's not that common for people to actually fall asleep when they're bored. It's very common for people to kind of zone out, but to actually fall asleep is not that common. Me, I actually got drowsy even just at the thought of having to do certain activities. It was so bad that it felt just like if I was taking some sort of medication that would make you drowsy. And that is not a good feeling. The reason I'm bringing this up is because years ago when I was looking for answers about this, I found very, very little information about people who were actually falling asleep when they were bored. So it turns out that right now it's much more accepted. You're able to find a lot more information about people reporting that they fall asleep uncontrollably. Now, there's different reasons why this may happen, and I won't get into that right now, but I can tell you that it feels horrible. In my case, it was ADHD. That diagnosis made a big difference for me, and it may not be ADHD, but it could be something different. So just know that you are not alone. This type of thing happens to a lot of people. There is more support online, not only from people who are experiencing it, but also from mental health professionals who see this more and more often. For me, a diagnosis was a huge relief because it explained a lot of the things that I experienced as a kid, as a teenager, and as an adult. I suggest that if you know somebody who's feeling that way, or if you yourself get so tired when you start doing something that is either monotonous or boring, even if you think it might not be too bad of a problem, even if you just think that it's bothering you a little bit, go to your doctor, talk to your doctor, preferably to a mental health professional. You may have to go to a few different people, get a second opinion. That's what I needed to do. And then it all made sense once you read up on it. Now, again, this is something that is not in the DSM, but if it's a problem for you, you should probably get it checked out. And trust me, you are not alone. So I really want to know, do you get so tired when you're bored that it's becoming a problem in your life, or has it been a problem before? Trust me, you are not alone. I still go through this, and many different people get through this. It could be a number of different things, but it feels really good to know that there are other people out there who feel that way. So let me know in the comments if you feel that way and you haven't been checked out, or if you did and what your doctor told you. What did your mental health professional tell you? And more importantly, what worked? And are you better? I'm Josue Cardona. Check out some of my other stuff, and let's keep talking.